careless, Simon. Probably nothing important, but at this stage, I need all the clues I can get. A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Did you know about Ryan Rand's arthritis?
Arthritis? I didn't think Ryan had arthritis.
Have you seen this before?
Nope. Sorry, never heard of him.
And what do you know about this?
This is Simon's. I bought this from when we were on holiday. Has he lost it?
He dropped it.
He can't keep anything.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Did you know about Ryan's arthritis?
Ryan? He's got arthritis?
Apparently.
Oh, I didn't know. I hadn't noticed he had any problems.
I think you dropped this outside. Someone you know.
Oh, this is just from some IT guy I met. I don't need him.
Enough. I noticed some numbers on the back. Do you need these?
I don't know. What is it?
1905?
Oh, yeah, that's just a pin for something. It's okay, I can remember it.
So not an offshore savings account or anything?
No, it's not important.
Is this yours?
Yeah. That's from my keys. Where did you find that?
Just outside.
Right. Oh, it must have come off when Nathan dropped my keys off. He was borrowing my car.
That's very trusting.
Yeah, I suppose it is. I am a bit too trusting, really. It's a new car as well.
Aha.
So the bike's the only way you can get to work, yes?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the car?
I can't drive the car yet, can I? I don't have my license.
Right.
I got a windfall from an insurance payout. Just figured I'd buy something sensible with it straight away instead of wasting the money.
What was the insurance payout?
It was for a laptop. It got stolen down at Atlas.
An Atlas?
Well, they didn't break in. I think they just walked in and took it. The laptop was in a storeroom, but I think the lock was broken, to be honest.
Doesn't sound like they're taking their security very seriously.
Actually, it got a lot better after that.
I think I'll check it anyway.
Must have been a very nice laptop to be able to buy a car with the insurance. Or a very cheap car. Might have to have a talk with Ryan about his security measures.
Did you know about Simon's laptop being stolen?
Yeah, because it had all my college work on it, which I hadn't backed up or saved. Not that it mattered much, but I did buy a new one. And Simon uses it now, when I let him.
That's all for the moment. Thank you. A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Have you seen this before?
No.
Do you know anything about this?
No, sorry.
Be back later on, if that's okay. Couple more questions, if that's okay.
When did Ryan begin to suffer from arthritis?
Ryan doesn't suffer from arthritis.
Really?
The only thing that Ryan suffers from is a pathetic inability to deal with any kind of discomfort. He pulled his back sometime last year. Since then, he's going around telling everybody he suffers from arthritis.
I thought he had medication for it.
Oh, he only has medication because his GP, who is almost as dysfunctional as he is, keeps prescribing it for him.
So you don't believe he really has arthritis?
Not at all.
Do you know who this is? Dean Hayfield, Aztec.
Sorry, never heard of him. We have some prisoner of sort who does our IT. Large guy. No manners.
Seen this before anywhere?
No.
And what do you know about Simon's laptop being stolen from Atlas?
No, I wasn't happy about it.
What did you do about it?
Ryan paid a con man to install a complicated CCTV system at twice the price that it would probably have cost. Seemed to do the trick, though. We haven't had a theft since.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. A few more questions, please. Thank you.
Recognise this at all?
Yeah, he fixed my laptop.
Does he live locally?
I think so.
Seen this before?
Don't think so.
Thank you. Probably be back later. ask you a couple more things, please? Know anything about this?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. We have our own IT chap. Lovely chap, in fact. Fat and sweaty, though. It's like a double act, doesn't it?
Have you seen this before?
No, sorry.
Were you at Atlas when Simon's laptop was stolen?
Oh, I believe I was, yes. It was taken from the storeroom in the hallway.
Was it ever recovered?
No, we didn't catch anyone. We're quite exposed out here. Somebody could just have wandered along the lane, seen into the storeroom. It's not particularly secure. They could have been in and out within minutes. That's why we advise people to keep their valuables with them. You can't be too careful these days, Inspector.
Aha. So the storeroom isn't particularly secure, yet you keep your morphine tablets in there. I thought you said no one could get access to the morphine, but they could, quite easily, couldn't they, Ryan?
I didn't mean that storeroom. I meant a different storeroom. I keep them in there.
Okay. So where was it locked up?
It's upstairs. It's got a combination lock on it. Nobody could have access to it except me and Dad. Nobody.
I might have a look at that if you don't mind.
Don't mind at all.
A combination locked room, I see. Well, I might have a look around for that. See how secure and combination locked it really is.
Welcome to the Mirror Room. This exercise is all about identifying the difference between the image one presents to the world and one's real self, which lies deep in our unconscious. As you move through the network of mirrors, practice seeing yourself as a stranger. The more you separate from your persona, the more aware you will become of your true desires and ambitions. Chant with us. I am free from my image. I am free from my past. I am free from myself. I am free from my image. I am free from my past. I am free from myself. I am free from my image. I am free from my past. I am free from myself. This exercise involves the use of liberation masks. You have now completed Module 1. Module 2 covers boundary testing, threshold testing, and extreme testing. Please read the notes carefully before attempting the module.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind. Can you tell me what you know about the mirror room upstairs?
Oh, you found that then. Well, it's very similar to the costumes, Inspector. It's designed to help the students look at themselves differently.
And what do you do with the mirrors?
You look at yourself, Inspector. You look at yourself until you start seeing yourself as others do. And you don't see yourself as you do anymore. It really, the idea is that you can see yourself eventually, any way you wish.
So why in a locked room?
To make sure you're not distracted, that's all.
How often is it used?
Not often, a few times a month. Some students find it useful, some don't.
Thank you. Probably be back later. Ask about a few more things, please.
Do you know about the mirror room at Atlas?
Yeah.
What's it used for?
Well, it's mainly for the auto-hypnosis module. You go in and you stare into the mirror and you go into a trance. Then, when you're ready, you come back out.
So you just go in whenever you want to?
Oh, no. There's certain times when you're allowed in, and only they know the combinations anyway, so you can't really get in.
But you don't know the combination?
No.
That's all for the moment, thank you.
Do you know about the mirror room at Atlas?
Mirror room. No, I heard about it, but I think it was only for the students later on in the course. Something like that.
Be back later on, if that's okay. Couple more questions, if that's okay. Do you know anything about a locked room at Atlas with mirrors in it?
Not off the top of my head, no. I think that's a question for Ryan.
Thank you. Probably be back later. Few more questions, please. That's it for the time being, thank you. Ask you a couple more things, please.
Can you tell me about the room with the mirrors at Atlas? The one with the combination lock?
How did you get in there?
I was given the code for the combination.
By Ryan?
Well, nobody else is allowed to know the code, are they?
Not in theory.
So how's the room used on the course, then?
It's a meditation room where the students can reflect on themselves, literally.
And what about the CD?
Well, that helps too. It's part of the program.
So you send the students into the room, they put the CD on, they stare into the mirrors. And how long does this last for?
Until the CD finishes or they fall asleep. What else would you like to know?
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Yes, Chief. Made a very interesting discovery at Atlas. Ryan told me about the combination locked room there. He said that's where he kept the morphine and that nobody had access. Except I let myself in there earlier using a PIN number that I found written on the back of a card dropped by Simon.
That was a very long sentence, Jenks.
Thank you, sir.
What does Thompson say about it?
Well, I haven't really questioned him properly about it yet.
So, why are you calling me? Get back to Thompson and call me back when you've got a proper question for me.
Yes, Chief. Sorry. Speak later.
Bye.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. Aha. So you didn't know the combination to the locked mirror room?
Nope.
Except you'd written it down, hadn't you? This is the combination to the mirror room, Simon, that you wrote. It isn't a pin, it's a combination.
Yeah.
You see, this sort of thing makes me suspicious, Simon. What were you doing in there that you didn't want anyone, including me, to find out?
It's just part of the course, isn't it? I just wanted to go in there when I was ready.
On your own? You didn't give the number to anyone else?
No.
Simon, there was morphine kept in that room that might have played a part in Kate Vine's death. Did Kate have the number?
Yes, okay. We both went in.
Together?
We were trying to outdo each other. We both tried to morph in.
What do you mean trying to outdo each other?
It's part of the course. To see how far you can push yourself. To see if you could do something you wouldn't normally do.
When was this?
A few months ago.
How often did you try it?
Only that once. I never did it again.
How about Kate?
I don't know. Sorry.
So that's how Kate got the morphine. But what exactly does this testing involve? Could this have been what killed Kate? 11 o'clock. Just an hour left to solve this thing.
So James is interested in poppy pods, is he? I think he's got some explaining to do. A few more questions, if you don't mind. What can you tell me about several boxes of dried poppy pods in the greenhouse back there?
Feel free to take some if you want.
What are they for, James?
Decoration? Why?
Decoration.
There's a big market for them among the over 70s.
So what are you doing with them?
Selling them to grannies.
Okay, James, let's just cut to the chase. Are you extracting opium from them?
Me? I can honestly say I've never done anything like that, Inspector.
Sure about that?
Scout's honour.
And who was the guy delivering them?
A friend. Someone gave them to him. He asked me if I wanted them. I said I'd have a look and see if I liked them.
You just thought you'd have a look? No particular reason?
I'm a plant scientist, that's what I do.
Have you ever sold them to anyone else?
I only got them a few minutes ago.
In the past. You know Kate's body had opium in the blood when it was found?
No, I didn't. Hey, that's nothing to do with me.
Let's hope not. That's all for the moment. Thank you. A couple more questions, if that's okay. What do you know about poppy pods?
Poppy pod?
Ever come across anyone selling them, using them?
No.
Be back later on, if that's okay. A few more questions, please. Thank you. What do you know about poppy pods?
Go on.
Ever come across anyone trying to sell them or anything like that? Maybe even in here?
Not that I remember.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Ask you a couple more things, please. Odd question, but have you ever seen anyone handling dried poppy pods?
Poppy pods? As in, for opium? No. Though James did have opium tea once, I think.
Where did he get it from?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't ask. James does his own thing.
What does opium tea taste like?
I don't know. I didn't try it.
Really?
I didn't want to risk it, did I? But I went to hospital once. I had codeine and I went into anaphylactic shock. The doctor said it was an opium derivative, apparently, so...
Thank you. Probably be back later. Strange question. Have you ever known of anyone selling dried poppy pods?
Poppy pods? Don't think so. Isn't that opium?
Kind of. It's okay. Thank you. Probably be back later.
Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You can push it all the way in, Tom, if you want to. Excellent, Tom.
Excuse me. Would someone care to tell me exactly what's going on here?
Don't come any closer.
That man needs a doctor.
No, he doesn't.
I don't need a doctor. I'm fine. Go away.
What is this?
A test.
Of what?
What does it look like? It's a threshold test. A pain threshold test. I thought, you were supposed to be good at working things out. Inspector Jenks.
And so this would be for Atlas, would it? Kyle?
You disappear now.
It's not a good idea to talk to a police inspector like that.
Do you want me to make you?
It's okay, Tom. Mr. Jenks won't be bothering us anymore.
Don't make any rash commitments. Well, well. You really should take more care of your things, Ryan. Here's your keys, Kyle.
No.
So that's threshold testing, is it? Sticking a skewer through your hand? I could just ask Ryan or Paul directly about this, but I think I'll bide my time. See what I can do with this key fob first.
few more questions, if you don't mind.
Know anything about poppy pods? Come across anyone selling them or anything?
Poppy pods? Well, don't tell anyone, Inspector, but I hear that you can make opium out of those. Why do you ask?
Doesn't matter.
That's all for the moment, thank you. Bingo. Well, Ryan, what have you been up to? Be very interesting to see how he explains this one. Ask about a few more things, please.
Would you like to explain what this is, please, Ryan? £500 intended for Kate. It fell out of your car. At least I assume that's your car on the driveway at Brandon House.
I suppose so.
So why were you going to give Kate £500, Ryan?
It was just a little incentive, that's all. Just a little incentive.
Not very little, Ryan. £500.
She was a very good student. We heard that she was leaving. We wanted to give her something.
But you didn't.
Well, obviously not.
Are you sure there wasn't any other reason you might want to give her this? Personal reason?
No!
Well, I'd like to keep hold of this for a little while, if you don't mind.
Well, don't consider it a bribe, will you, Inspector?
Be back later on, if that's okay. Couple more questions, if that's okay. Thank you. Probably be back later. That's it for the time being. Thank you.
questions, please. Thank you. Probably be back later. Ask you a couple more things, please. Now, why do you think Ryan might want to give Kate a cheque for £500?
I've really no idea. Where did you find it?
Just outside.
You better ask him.
Do you think Ryan was interested romantically in Kate?
I know he has a weakness for blondes, but I didn't think it had gone so far as his offering them cash.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Got something interesting, Jenks?
Very much so, sir. An interesting discovery in Ryan's car. A cheque for £500 from Ryan made out to Kate.
Blimey, how does he explain that?
He said it was an incentive. Apparently he'd heard she was thinking of leaving the course.
What made her so special that they were willing to pay her to stay?
Just a good student, I suppose.
Nah, doesn't add up. £500 is a lot more than an incentive, Jenks. You can buy questions in Parliament for that kind of money. Sounds pretty desperate. Keep on at Ryan about it. Oh, and get yourself another drink.
Another drink. Thanks, Chief.
I'm having one. Bye.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. Be back later on, if that's okay.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Couple more questions, if that's okay. So, students aren't coerced or bribed in any way, except Kate.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You said you were going to give Kate the £500 as an incentive. That's coercion, isn't it?
I really don't think you could call it coercion, Inspector. It was an incentive, that's all, a little encouragement.
So, how often do you use incentives?
Okay, incentive is probably the wrong word. The money was just to see how Kate would respond. It was part of her assessment.
Assessment?
We have to assess students as they progress. We don't use conventional methods like sitting an exam or anything like that. People pay for this course per session. We have to know if they're committed or not.
So you're assessing their progress and testing their commitment?
Yes, we are. We have to. This is a business, not a charity.
So Ryan's claiming the money was part of Kate's assessment. And did this assessment also involve threshold testing, I wonder? Or was the money for something else? Well, Ryan claims that the money was something to do with Kate's assessment rather than being a bribe or anything like that.
I'm sure he does.
But I couldn't get any further with it, unfortunately. However, I did see someone delivering boxes of poppy pods to James Wilson.
What? Wilson's making opium as well?
Possibly. I can't get any further with him either.
Right, what's the connection between Wilson and Thompson again? I've totally forgotten my brain.
They both used to live at the farmhouse before Simon moved out with Emma.
So they've got history together. Well, we're missing something here, Jenks. Just try and quiz both of them. Find out about these poppies.
Okay, thanks, Chief.
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Probably be back later. Ask you a couple more things, please.
Thank you. Probably be back later. Just a few more questions, if you don't mind. Aha. You and Kate took morphine in the mirror room. That's what you said, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you're allergic to opiates, Simon. Opium. You didn't take the morphine at all, did you?
Well, no, I didn't. Kate did, though.
I thought you were trying to outdo each other. That was the point, wasn't it?
We weren't trying to outdo each other as such.
Go on.
Ryan wanted me to test Kate. To see how far she would go to be prime candidate.
What candidate?
Prime candidate. It means the best person in the group, basically.
What do you mean, test her?
But you do it in pairs. One person's the tester, it's me, and the other person's the...
victim?
Well, it's not like that. It's completely consensual. It's just boundary testing. Ryan wanted me to test Kate.
Because they thought she was the best student?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I just did what I was told, okay?
Except you decided to give her morphine. To break the law.
Well, I can't change that now, can I? She didn't die of a morphine overdose, did she?
She died because she drowned. But she drowned for reasons that aren't clear. Atlas seemed to have this all neatly worked out. If Simon's telling the truth, Atlas are lighting the fuse and then retiring to a safe distance, letting students test themselves and push themselves to their limits while avoiding all comeback. Is this what happened to Kate? Do you know what a prime candidate is at Atlas?
Yes, it's what every student wants to be. It's the best student. Apparently you get a great high-paid job afterwards. I don't think that really happens, though.
Did you know anyone in the running to be prime candidate?
What, like Simon? I don't think they picked Simon, to be honest. Well, he's got too many morals, and you can't have both at Atlas.
That's all for the moment, thank you. Ask about a few more things, please. Be back later on, if that's okay. Couple more questions, if that's okay. What are prime candidates?
The best of the bunch. The peaches.
And so what does it mean to be a prime candidate?
Success. We have a special relationship with many major international companies. We provide them with our best students. And they get an instant job.
And what do you get out of it?
Well, it's a little kickback. It's just business, Inspector.
Thank you. Probably be back later. A few more questions, please. Do you know what a prime candidate is?
At Atlas. It's the best student.
And what does that mean?
It means they get a guaranteed job with a very good salary. Well, that's the idea anyway.
But?
Mostly they aren't up to it.
What happens then?
They get sacked.
Do you know what a prime candidate is? That's it for the time being, thank you. Ask you a couple more things, please. Now, tell me what a prime candidate is.
You're learning a lot, aren't you, Inspector? Prime candidates are simply the best students, the ones with the most potential.
And what benefits do they get from that?
Well, they get the top job.
Which is?
Well, we have a deal with various multinationals. We train students to be exceptional, truly exceptional. And they get a wonderful top job. It seems a very simple deal.
And how do you decide who the prime candidate is? Do you test students?
No.
Did you ever, say, ask Simon to test Kate, for instance?
Oh, you've actually been speaking to Simon, haven't you? I really wouldn't trust anything that Simon Thompson says. You know, he spent the best part of 2 months trying to undermine Kate. No. Now, Simon Thompson, it really isn't my place to speculate, but if you're looking for motives, Inspector, he certainly had a few motives, more than I.
A motive to kill her, do you mean?
Now, that's very interesting, Inspector. Well, that's up to you to decide.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Jenks, tell me what you know first, but this time I've got something to tell you.
Really? Well, what I found out is that Simon was asked by Ryan to test Kate to see if she was good enough to become prime candidate.
Prime what?
Prime candidate. It's the best of the bunch. The best Atlas student. The prime candidate gets an instant job on a fantastic salary as soon as they leave the course.
And how do they work out who's the best of the bunch?
That's what I'm trying to work out.
Well, that's very interesting. I'll tell you what I know, shall I? That name they used to trade under, Third Eye. Turns out they were investigated 3 years ago over an allegation of physical abuse. Torture, Jenks. Witness had puncture marks through both her hands.
And Atlas weren't charged?
There was nothing to charge them with. The witness inflicted the wounds herself. Witness said it was something called threshold testing, whatever that means. Go figure, as they say in America.
Can I ask the Rands about this?
Well, there's no point. They won't tell you anything, and it'll just put them on the defensive. Just keep chipping away at them. Try and find out what this testing involves. That's the best thing. Get something on them, and you'll be in a better position.
Right. Thank you, Chief.
Nearly there, Jenks.
few more questions, if you don't mind. That's all for the moment. Thank you. A few more questions, if you don't mind. be back later on, if that's okay. Couple more questions, if that's okay. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. A few more questions, please. Thank you. Thank you. Probably be back later. Ask you a couple more things, please.
Thank you. Probably be back later.